So there's a couple things you're going to need for this. You're going to need an Arduino Uno or any type of board you use. It just has to have 8 outputs and support the Arduino IDE. I'm using an Arduino Uno R3. It works fine. And the next thing is an 8-channel solid-state relay board. I'm using the one by SainSmart. It works perfectly. And I would not recommend getting mechanical relays because of the fast switching you're going to be needing to do with the lights, and mechanical may wear out easier with this. So solid state is your best bet for this. The next thing is 4 outlets, just standard outlets from the that you put in the wall, just 4 of them. That will give you 8 outputs. And next thing is a computer cord or wire, just like a power supply cable, I guess. It just has to have those three. It has to be the 3-pronged one with the ground, neutral, and hot. So just a normal computer cord wire should work. Next thing is some wire to connect the channels to Arduino. I'm using Ethernet cable. The Ethernet cable works fine, but you can use some other wire if you want. Second to last thing you're going to need is 12 or 14 gauge wire. 14 gauge is the minimum requirements for like a safety hazard thingy, I guess I read up, but you could just use 12 or 14 gauge wire to connect the outlets together. And the last thing you're going to need is a 4-gang electrical box to put your outlets in and the relay. You could fit it all in there. I did it, so it should fit everything, but I would recommend putting another box around it just to be safe and so no wires are in the open or anything. Now I'm going to show you how to put everything together. Once you get all that stuff, you should be ready to build everything. So the first thing you should do with your outlets is, see this tab right there? Right there? Yeah, that tab right there. You're going to need to pull that off or bend it off with some needle nose pliers. And once you do that to all 4 of your outlets, you could wire them up using my pretty bad schematic, or go to that website I put in the description. So once you wire all your outlets up, you can start to wire them to the relay board. Once you wire the relay board, you can wire the outputs onto the Arduino, which I'll explain right now. And here is my messy schematic that I made. It's kind of really messy, sorry, but I hope you can understand it. I'll put the image in the description of this video so you can look at it easier. And I'll explain the bottom part where all the pins connect to the Arduino. So if any of you guys got confused by that picture, I'm sorry. I'm not really good at designing things, but so you're gonna want to start with channel 1. So channel 1 would go to pin 5 on the Arduino, and channel 2 would go to pin 6, and then channel 3, pin 7, and so on. And then you just obviously connect the ground to the ground on the Arduino, and then the VCC just goes to the 5 volts on the Arduino. So you'll have 2 grounds in the Arduino and 1 VCC, and then the 8 outputs into the digital pins starting from 5 to 12. So yeah, I hope that explains it. Yeah. And I'm just using a 4 outlet switch plate. No, not a switch plate, an outlet plate, I guess. I don't know, but I'm just using this, and yeah. But mine is actually going to have 12 outputs, because I had 2 extra outlets. I just, why not make 12? So yeah. But I'm showing you guys how to make the 8 one. You could extend it. It's pretty simple. Just do the same thing, just with 2 more outlets, and you'd need a 4-channel relay board for the extra 4 outlets. So yeah. And this is like a little switch plate I printed. It's cool.
once you plug in all your lights, you should just make sure they all turn on after 5 seconds of you plugging it in. So yeah, now I'm just gonna open this sequence and just test them individually.
So this is the code that you're going to need to program onto the Arduino. And it's pretty simple. You just type in the amount of channels that you're going to be using, which is 8, and then the data pins that you're going to be using. So remember, on the relay board, channel 1 it was pin 5, and channel 2 was pin 6, and so on. So those are the pins that you're going to be using on the Arduino. And I got help from people on a website, and they told me to put this in, which it basically means when there's no data coming from Vixen, the lights on your Christmas tree will turn on. And that's a good thing, because when your show is done, the lights are just going to turn off and do nothing because there's no data going. So they added this to turn on all the lights when there's no data, instead of them turning off, which is very helpful. So yeah, you just gotta go to your board, the Arduino or whatever board you're using, and then select the port and just upload it. So the next thing you're gonna do is get the program to program your Christmas lights on your tree. The first thing you should do is click download on vixenlights.com and then choose your system bit thing. Mine is 64, so you should click 64 and then it should download. You're gonna go through the setup, and then once you're done setting up Vixen, next, agree. I already did it, so I'm not gonna do it. And then once you download it, you're gonna go in here. These are my profiles, but you're gonna make a new one. You wanna click this. You're gonna click the plus. Enter a name for the new profile. You could just write. You could call it tree or whatever. I'm just gonna call my tree. And this is the data folder. And you can. This is a personal preference. If you have more than one profile, you could ask them you could be asked every time which one you want to open, or you could just, or it would open automatically if you choose that. But I'm not. And then you're just gonna click OK. And then yeah, it doesn't exist. So if you want to create it, I'll click yes. And as you see, this is our profile. Then you're gonna click load. So this is Vixen. Pretty simple. All you need to do is, well, this thing, you have to do a couple things before you start making a new sequence. You're gonna have to set up display. So we're gonna be using Arduino. So under the controllers, we're gonna be using generic serial, and then you click the add. I'm just gonna name it Arduino. And there's going to be 8 outputs on this controller. And there's your outputs. Over here, under the elements, I'm going to do generic number group. Click add. And click chat and say channels. Item prefix is, I'm just going to put channel. And item count is 8. So here's channels, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here, you are going to, well, I'm going to have multicolored lights and then just 2 white lights. So 7 is going to be half my tree white, and 8 is going to be the other half of my tree white, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to click channel 1, hold shift and click the sixth one. Now I could click the configure, color handling, configure, and since they're just normal Christmas lights, they are a single color and do not change color. So you click that. Well, you could also, I'm just going to change mine to red. It would look easier when you're creating things, like sequences. And I'm just going to overwrite them. Then channel 7 and 8 is going to be color handling. I'm just going to change this to white because those are the colors of the light. And once you do that, you can hold shift on all of these, and then you go on the controller side, click output 1, shift and control over shift onto output 8. So now they're both selected. Now you're going to click patch elements. Once you've done that, you could click OK. So now we're going to talk about previews. Now the preview just lets you see your show in the computer, basically. So you're going to want to click Setup Preview, Add New Preview, and then you're going to click that. Click OK, and as you see, your preview is black. There's nothing there. So you can just minimize that. You can change the name of it to tree. Click Update, and then once you do that, you can configure the preview. And this is everything you'll see. And if you want to add a picture, you click that, and you could click tree. So you just click this button to add a picture, and here's just a normal Christmas tree I found on the internet. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how to lay out everything for your tree. So you're going to want to click channel 1. You're going to want to click multi-point string, and then you can just draw out everything. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to click escape, and now I could click channel 2, do the same thing. I'm going to do the other half like this. Escape, channel 3. I could do this like that. Yeah, you just fill that area in. Channel 4. And each of these sections is individually controlled. So to get rid of it, you just click escape. And here is the bottom of the tree. Just gonna do that real quick. And just this. It's just a mess. Okay. And then 7. Channel 7. I'm gonna do the entire, just the left half of the tree. And that's all gonna be white light. And then for channel 8, I'm gonna do the other entire half of the tree, which is another strand of white lights. And then you could escape that. If you click the select button and the part of the tree you want, you could change the light count. So my strands of light have 50 LEDs on it. And then I can click this side, and this, my white lights will have 100. This would be 50. I don't think this is really important, but I'm just doing it just because, yeah, that's gonna have 100. This part will have 100 too, and this is gonna have 50. This part will have 50. And you can just buy these lights at Home Depot. It's like, After Christmas, they're pretty cheap. They're like $5 a box. And once you do all of those properties, you can click the close button on the top right. And here is your preview, but as you see, it's kind of small. Go back into here, background properties, 700, and then you can click save, and boom. Once you do that, you can click new sequence, which will bring you here. And then you can click the plus here. Those are your channels. So there'll be 8 channels. To set up your music, well, first let's test if the channels are set up correctly. You're gonna want to do a set level. All you do is click it and drag it, and boom, that's a red bar. So this means that the light will be on. You could tell if it's on by click effect editor. See, that means, see, this is channel 1. Now if you copy it, you can see that they should be both on. They're both on. And then this is channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, channel 8, channel 9. You can see that they're all on. And it's doing that effect because it's a set level. Basically a set level is just on and off, which we'll be using. There's no fading because our relays don't support that. But you can do fading in this. So basically we only need the basic lighting, which is the set level. So if this works, if each of your channels work perfect, then you can click associate audio, which you can just get any song you want. I prefer Trans-Siberian Orchestra though, and I don't know where that is. Wizards in Winter, which is normal song for this. It's actually a good song. Trans-Siberian Orchestra songs work great for music syncing. So once you do that, you want to go to Tools, Audio, Beat/bar detection. Once you do that, you can click Generate. Now it gives you every beat in the song. So you could just zoom in so it'll be easier and it would be synced better. And you could also slow down the timing speed of the sound. So yeah, you could slow it down. And you could also increase it very fast. But we're gonna keep it at 100 for now. So once you do that, you can just drag and drop your beats. So like this is one beat. Copy that. There's another one here. And one here. So basically if you do that, yeah. That's all you need to do actually. You just do things like this. Do whatever you want. Just be creative. And you could also do this, which turns them all on slowly. And to line these up, you can just do alignment and align both. That like makes it a perfect line. And if you want to start the song from somewhere else, you just click on the timeline, click stop, and then it starts from there. But if you want to do... Oh, and this comes up timing if you didn't save it yet, so you can just type in whatever you want and save it to your sequence, and there it goes. So the alignment tool you're going to be using a lot. like a lot. It's like the best thing in this thing. And copy and pasting, I guess you'll be using, which is Control C and Control V. And this, you can just do anything, be creative on the beats. And this is our white light, as you see. This is the other white light. And these are our red lights. They could be any color light. I'm just using the 5-colored multicolor ones, LEDs. But these ones are incandescent, my white ones. I need to switch over soon. And I wouldn't recommend putting more than 2 outlet strands together with this. Like when you plug them into the outlets that you've created, I would not plug in more than 2. Even though that probably could handle it, just I wouldn't. 50, I put on 50 lights and that's good enough. It's actually too much. So, yeah. And that's all I know about the program right now. I'll show you a sequence that I've created though. So here's the preview. I actually have 12 channels in this, as you heard me say before. And I'm just gonna shrink that more. And actually, as you saw, it started there because I have this thing there. But look, you could just get very creative with this. Like, very creative. Just, yeah, it's pretty simple. Easy. Anyone could do it. I did it, so you can. Trust me. That's basically it. It could get crazy. So yeah, that just shows you what you can do in this program. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you did the wiring good. But yeah, so when you set up your tree, you're gonna make sure you put a light strand here, and make sure you put a light strand here, another light strand here, light strand there, light strand there, light strand there. And then if you want white, you should just do half the tree white and then the other half the other white light. So there'll be 2 strands of whites on half the tree, and then 6 strands of lights split up into 6 sections. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys make this. I just, yeah. Please show me what you have created if you followed this tutorial. Thank you for watching.